I will run, I will climb, I will soar. I'm undefeated. Oh, jumping out of my skin, pull the cord. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, the past is everything we were. Don't make us who we are.
Okay, no, that was the music. Okay, so you guys, I don't want to be copyrighted. I don't know if I am going to be copyrighted. I don't know. Oh, let us see. But anyway, you guys, how do you like it? Like today I am wearing a little bit like I'm wearing a wig just to switch it up a little bit. I know this is going to be very controversial. I hate wigs with a passion. I hate it. This one I just usually keep it here with me just for the sake of having it. And right now I feel really hot. So this wig is just gonna be here for the introduction. Otherwise we are not going to wear it. I hate weaves with a passion. I hate it. I hate weaves so much with a passion. Yeah, we're gonna do with just our natural hair. We're just gonna slay like this. So you guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for the people who have tuned into my videos, and I've got a couple of visitors here and there, and I want to welcome you guys to another video. How are you guys doing? I hope life is treating you well wherever you are, beautiful people. Anyway, so let me just jump straight into this video, and I'm just trying to be consistent obviously with my videos. Navigating through work and making videos has been a little bit challenging. Like even today I was just like, do I have to, because I'm really busy. I have a busy schedule, but because I have dedicated myself to making these videos, I do not want to turn you guys down or to inconvenience I can't speak today, inconvenient grace anyone. So you guys, you've seen by the title of this video, today I'm going to talk about my experience dating Arab man. You guys, I haven't really dated much, especially much of Arabs in this country. Let me see, 1 minute. Sorry, that video got interrupted, so I had to actually like start all over again. Yes, so you guys, I'm going to make a video today, and I am going to talk about my experience dating Arabs. And I know that I made a video a couple of months ago regarding just basically talking about the Arab black women situation, and I know that a lot of girls were very triggered in that video, like in a sense of I was trying to say that Arabs don't really go for black women. And I don't really understand what is the reason why black girls, black women are always very triggered whenever somebody says that other ethnicity of men don't favor us. Like, why do we look for validation so much? I don't understand. Like, I don't know why we don't just understand that other ethnicities of men don't prefer to date us, and it is okay, because I am sure that even you yourself as a black woman, you don't prefer to date a certain people for whatever reason. And I don't see the reason why you people get triggered. The black women were so triggered in a sense of they felt like inside that particular video, they just felt like you can't tell us who doesn't want us. Like we are mother nature, like we are mother hen, like we are princesses, we are queens. Of course everybody wanna date us. Of course we are fabulous. We are a bag of chips and everything in between. Like, how dare you say, like, calm down, sis. Like, just calm down. It is okay for some people not to actually, like, it's okay for somebody to say that, or even to have an opinion saying that they would not prefer to date us. People have preferences, and if somebody doesn't want to feel, and again, people who are saying in such videos, people were saying that oh, you're saying that they don't like, yet they dated Rihanna, I'm like, sis, there are a couple of, like, why would you associate that? Why would you equate that with dating a black woman? Like, didn't they just bang each other, whatever it was, the situation? Didn't they just use whether he used her or she used him or whatever note, whether he was a millionaire or what. I would just rather be like, if you tell me was, that was like a past tense. It doesn't make sense to me. Like for me, if you know of any black woman who is actually with an Arab, especially specifically Emirati men for like the longest period of time, like especially African, and a lot of people were like saying that well, they don't date African women but they date American women. I was like, sis, don't you even listen to yourself? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, seriously, Arabs, so long as you are black, you are black. Whether you come from America, you come from Trinidad and Tobago, you come from Jamaica, you come from wherever, they don't just get it. They don't get the accents. They don't get nothing. They just like, you are black, you are African. You are, actually, they usually just come to you and to greet you, Africa? You Africa? That's all they usually like. Africa? You, Africa? Like whether you are American or what, doesn't matter to them. So people, other women were like feeling like maybe African women, like women from the African continent who are born and raised from the African continent. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. Like they are less of, like they are looked at as dateable as compared to the, like, I mean, sorry, I beg your pardon. These women who are saying that obviously they don't date African women, but they date African American women. Like, African American is the exception. I don't get it. In a sense of, so long as you're African to them. They don't see, the skin color is all that they see. You are black, you're from Africa, it doesn't matter. And again, for me, I just feel like it's either you feel like being an African American is of a higher status than being an African, like African are lower. The whole thing doesn't make sense. The whole comment did not make sense to me. And that is why I am trying to actually make sense of it all, but it just didn't make sense to me. Arabs, wait a minute. I have been in the Emirates. I've lived in Dubai. Partly I'm living now in the Abu Dhabi, and I've lived here for a total of 10 years. And these people, I don't know what is that blink. Yeah, sorry, something is blinking on my, okay, now I've got it. And I have seen this man. I know, like, I know what is happening here, you know. I've been here for 10 years plus. I've flown a lot of Arab men. I've flown a lot of people to see, especially because I'm working with an international airline. And we ferry lovers, people to different parts of the world for honeymoon, like for honeymoon, they are going for holidays, they are whatever not, and they are just like, and mostly lovers are the ones who travel, or even with families or whatever. But I have never ever encountered, in my 10 years of being flight attendant, I have never encountered Arab men with a black woman, especially African black woman, African American, whatever. But you know, you have to know that we have Arab women who have African features. They are really dark, you know. They basically have the African features with, like, let me just say that they look sort of Somalis and between breed of Somalis and Ethiopians. And yeah, they look sort of like, they have sleek hair, they have these sharp noses, they have different features. And most of these black Arab women, I don't know their origin or how they how come, because I feel like Arabs are like they are like, there is a lot of different types of Arab, especially look wise. There are some that look very white, there's some that look actually dark, and you know, I think they are like a mixed all over the place. And don't actually confuse this type of Arabs. And a lot of people were actually confusing Moroccans or Algerians, saying that they are also African. Well, let's just say dark skin, melanated women, let's just say that. like they don't really do much of us, and it is okay. I don't see. And also some people were like telling me that why would you even want to date an Arab? Like, why would you? Like, it doesn't have to be a reason to every single thing. Nobody have to give you an explanation to whether people choose to date whoever. It just sometimes happens that you meet somebody, and I don't want to get out of this topic by, you guys have seen the topic of my video. I wanted to talk about my experience dating an Arab, and I would say that a lot of people were actually like attacking me, saying that I am all over the place with different type of men and yada yada. Talk about Caucasians, talk about Arabs, talk about Kenya, talk about whatever. Like, a lot of people have opinions, but well, I always say that, like, this is why the announce is there. Like, you're supposed to swoop it down under. What is going on? Understand each other. Understood? So you guys, anyway, that was a by the way. And by the way, some people usually find my jokes a bit dry. Like, people usually find my jokes a bit rude. Like, well, like, let me just say that I'm pretty honest, and some people find my honesty sometimes annoying. And if you don't want to watch, nobody has put a gun on your head and told you to actually continue watching this video. Like, if you don't like it, just click out. Anyway, moving on. So when I first came to the Emirates, I had I was living I was very like mostly a village girl. I lived in the village for the most part of my life, since until I was 18 or 19. That is when I moved to the city, and that is when I saw different type of people. So I never, like, even in the village, yes, we had missionaries, we had people coming, missionaries coming, like white people coming, whatever, and sometimes we didn't even know how to differentiate between albinos and whites. So sometimes when we see albinos, we run after them because we want to touch their skin. We just get really fascinated, and also want to touch their hair. And sometimes you see the kids are running after them saying misungu, misungu, misungu. Misungu. Misungu is to mean like white person, like white person. And so when I was living there, I never really saw much of them. So when I came to the city, I didn't know, when I flew to the Emirates, I first of all was confused. I was like, are they Caucasian? Are they Arabs? What are they? Like, I didn't know. I never seen Arabs in my life. I've seen Swahili people in the coast of Kenya. And yeah, they kind of look like Arabs. Some of them have like very fair skin or something like that. But then I never seen like really the exotic ones that I saw here with sharp noses. And I'm going to put a couple of pictures here just to tell you guys about, for you guys to have an idea what I'm talking about. So when I came, I was like struck. I was like, oh wow, everyone looks so different as compared to, the African, because I came, I'm only used to seeing our own people. So I was never like, wow, everyone looks so different. Not in a sexual way. A lot of people were like, oh, you're mesmerized with them, you find them attractive or whatever. Like, I was just finding them different looking. And then obviously that was like I had a wow moment right there, because they looked so different. They just, even the way they groomed, they were dressing up with these white clothing and with these things on top of their heads. It was quite different. But never in a moment then did I ever thought of, I would definitely come here and I would like to date one of them. That was not my intention at all. So when I first came, I was working in sales, and I was working with this company called Apparel Group. They actually own a lot of departmental stores in each and every grand malls in Dubai. So I was working for this particular company. So I was doing sales, and then, I was working in the malls. So it depends with which mall. Sometimes I was in a very high class malls, these different malls in Dubai. And then that is when I was like, the more I started living, the more I got used to them, the more I was like, now I know how to differentiate between Filipinos, Asians, yada yada, or like Caucasian and So then when I was then a guy was like, I felt like the more now my mind is opening, the more now I know the reason why this guy, like they were just like kind of parading the malls trying to find girls, and most of the time they were trying to find like they always like all types of men usually just parade malls. And if you don't know, you guys, in the malls in the Emirates, usually people have a way of catching men. Women have a way of catching men have a way of catching women, in a sense of they usually put their Bluetooth on, and then when they go to certain places, this is how high end, like let's just say this is just how women catch men, whether it is for prostitution purposes or whether it is for whatever reason. But they usually put their Bluetooth on, and then in their Bluetooth, in this crowded place, they put the name of their phone as their phone telephone numbers. And that is when you go to every mall you go, if you open your Bluetooth, you'll see all sorts of telephone numbers popping up. And then from there then on, you'd see the people who the telephone numbers who are there means that they are actually looking for a hookup or somebody to just hang out with or whatever. So a lot of men usually parade malls in the sense of they are trying to look for women. And at first I wasn't aware of it then. And I wasn't like catching a lot of attention, because most of the time I see a lot of men in the mall, they were there with their partners. It is very rare to just see a man walking by himself by the mall. Like men don't like doing therapy shopping like that. Like not many of them. Like they'd rather go to the car shops. They'd rather do other things, like kayaking, doing like manly things, not going to the mall and looking for shoes and bags and yada yada. This is mostly a woman thing, I would say. My God, I feel so hot in this house today. The AC. What am I gonna use to fan myself? There's nothing here. Give me a minute, you guys. And so I was just like, I don't want this video to take too long. I was just like, what was I saying? Yeah, so I was really busy in the shops, and I was always working day shift, not until midnight. I was working like maybe 12 to 13 hours a day, and so I was so busy, so I was not really paying attention. And then one time this guy came along, and he was like having this long hair he had like blue eyes, and he just looked like maybe he was Caucasian or something like that. So he came to the shops with his friends, and then he came just straight away to ask for my number. Like I was just on the floor working, and he was just like straight coming for the couch. So I gave him my number. So we ended up going on a couple of dates, but then we ended up listen, you guys, I never ever date with an intention of removing my panty to anybody, because to anybody, I never do that. Like I usually don't do that, So if you guys are going to be jumping into the conclusion and saying that, oh, all she did was sleep around with her, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm an empress. I'm a queen. I have queenology in me. I don't do that. I date with a purpose. And when you see me married, that is when you have to say that, oh, this girl is actually now dipping it and doing it. Before that, I'm not gonna do that. That is not my language. That is not what I do with my life. Moving on. So yeah, so I dated this guy. I know very well in my mind that I'm never gonna remove my panty anyway. And I'm not gonna get into his tongue for no reason either. Like I'm going to see what he has to offer. I'm going to actually collect data and find out what is he about, what does he want, why I know that obviously his Bluetooth was on, but at this point in time now I am aware of what men do in Dubai. Of course, most men, not all men. Then as time goes by, I'm very cautious with him, but I am dating it. We are dating, but we are not official. He's not a kind of a person who is going to be official. But then before I go further, I'll just like to let you guys know that the guy was Lebanese. I never ever dated like an Emirati guy or a Saudi Arabian guy or any other Arab man. This is the first guy that I actually gave my number, and I ended up hanging out. But then one thing that I realized was that this guy was never ever with me. Like one time we went to an outside event, you know, he took me to this pub, and we were like, I don't drink, so we were just having like soft drinks and coffees and tea and whatever, and just talking. And we were like not even talking about anything, like we just had nothing in common. So probably we were just like hanging out. But then I didn't find, there was no, the impression that he gave me was that he was dying to go to bed with me. That is the impression that he was. I still gave him a chance to prove himself wrong, you know, like to prove me wrong actually. But I still continue going out with him. But the more I went with him, I think it took me, like we were like, he was always like calling me out. And then I also realized that maybe whenever he was alone and feeling lonely and yada yada, he wanted to hang out with me. And for the most part, he never wanted to hang out with me in public places. He always wanted to hang out with me in the indoors. And that mainly in his house. He had a studio apartment. So he was like, always like, he was just a strange guy, you know, obviously just a strange guy. And then he was driving this convertible that he was always so excited to come pick me up in this convertible red saloon car. Guys, I'm not aware with cars, but I just know that the car didn't have a roof. That's all I knew. And when I was in there, my wind was blowing my weave. And, you know, and he was showing off with this loud music. And I was just like feeling very clingy, you know, like cringy. Is it cringy or clingy? Yeah. And I was just like, dang, like, and every time we are together, he was always talking about sex. I don't want my channel to be demonetized for saying this kind of words. You know, YouTube is a prude. YouTube is freaking prude. So if they hear anything to do with anything like sex, they demonetize sometimes, and I don't want this. So you guys, and then he was just always talking about this, and then he was dying to kiss me. He was dying to like just get in there and start being naughty with me and stuff like that. But then I was just asking myself, what is the reason why this man is never outside in public places with me? And then it came to me, to my realization, and this is in the most part of it all. If you see, like, I know, oh well, I'm not talking about the Arab Emiratis. Forget it. They don't date. They date within themselves. You know, they date their own. Whether be it their cousins, their whatever, their family members, whatever. They keep in the bloodline. That is why they are only 2% of population, yeah. So they don't like, you know, there are not many of them here. Like they are very, like they keep within each other. That is why they don't just get anybody to come into their family and start brooding. Like they want to brood within each other. So that is the reason why they forget it. Whether you are a black African American or whatever, they ain't gonna be dating you. And I'm sure you also might not want to date them because you don't roll like that. So it's okay. It's okay for me to say this and for you not to come into my video and jump into the comment section and start saying yada 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 blah blah blah. No need, sis. No need. Just keep it to yourself, okay? Let's move forward. So this guy, for the most part, these people are usually like always ashamed to show off, whether it is that they were having a black woman for whatever reason, maybe having them as a side chick or whatever. I haven't seen much of it because for the most part is that they hide them away, because this man was with me, but he was hiding away had me away as much as possible. Like, am I some type of circus? What am I? I don't understand. That I have to be hidden away from the community. None of your family members will know that I exist. Where do they do that at? I don't understand. So anyway, any man with whatever ethnicity you're gonna be, any man who is going to be ashamed of me because I am black and decide to date me in private only. Why are you trying to switch my buttons now? Why are you trying to press my buttons? Don't get it started with me. I wouldn't go there. So when this man was hiding me, and this is mostly this what these Arab men do. They are very is authentically. They are very out there. Authentically. What can I say? Guys, English is not my first language, but they like the Kim Kardashian look, and they like the exaggerated teeth. I don't know what is this, like there's this buy one get one free procedure that has come in Dubai, that everyone is getting this Hollywood smile. I'm telling you, the teeth, this is how the teeth look like. So blinding and so concrete. Like when they open their mouth to smile, it's like it's just on there. Like for me, it's just not working. So anyway, you guys, and they are just like, they just like exaggerated beauty, you know. They just like exaggerate. So maybe I don't fit in the category of the beauty they are looking for. Maybe because also they are looking for fair skin most of the time, women. That is what they find attractive, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? I don't get offended for that, because not everybody is gonna like me for me. Not everybody is gonna handle the queen in me. So it's okay. It's okay. And again, you guys, I will never feel offended. Anyway, I didn't finish the story with the Lebanese guy that I was dating. It didn't end anywhere because I felt very awkward. There was a time that a friend of mine, this girl, she was very easy in a sense of, you know, like there are girls who are very open like that. Like they can say hi to you by a form of removing their panty and getting in bed with you. So this girl came to visit me. I have all types of friends, you know. I don't just, I used to, but she's not my friend now because she moved to different countries. So this girl came to visit me, and this is why I stopped dating. I stopped going out with this guy. He was like, he brought his friend and then told me, let's go to my house, but then bring a friend of yours. Which friend? Well, I have a friend who came to visit me. Then I asked him, why do you want me to bring your friend? Because I have another friend of mine, so we can be a couple together in my house, and we can just like hang out and yada yada. So yeah, so when I went with my friend, because he came to visit me, and his friend and my friend were like getting it on in the, you know, it was a studio, whatever. And then I was there, so I was there with him, and he was like looking at me like, why aren't you like your friend? Why aren't you open like your friend? I'm just like, bitch, we ain't like that. We ain't friends like that. Like, you ain't gonna get no cookie. Like, just forget it. So then after that, I was just like, boy, you get lost with your convertible car. I ain't got no time for this. So then I just stopped seeing him after that. After he supposedly, in my mind, he was like, he wanted us to have an OG together, like a foursome, threesome, whatever you call it. But he was not getting that from me. So after some time, he just got bored of me. And every time he called me, I was just giving excuses, and I never went out with him. And that was the last time I went out with an Arab man. And that was the last. And don't say never. I say never, because it's ain't never gonna happen. You know why? Because for the most part, if somebody will only hide me away from the family or from his friends, and it's almost like he's ashamed to show me off, I wouldn't date that person. So I'm not like, I just don't date them, because again, they just not, let's just say, as much as they would say that they're not my type, I'm not their type, I would also comfortably say that they are not my type. It's not about the religion wise, it's mostly about maybe the character. They have like their own character. They are special in their own way. In a sense of, there is, most of the time they have this bromance going on. You see them anywhere. They are always in a group of like 6, 7 guys sitting together. And it's almost that in that group, they don't even look at girls, and like, you don't even look, like, they just concentrated in this group. Like, they don't mess with women. Like, they just like, I don't know. There's some deeper understanding. I would have gotten deeper to it based on a lot of stories that I've had with a couple of friends, not of friends, a couple of my colleagues who I'm not gonna get there. So you guys, I'm just not gonna, because I don't want this video to feel like I am maybe being again too opinionated and say things that are going to rub other people the wrong way. So in this video, I'm going to say this is the end of it. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please, I said please, sis, listen, please, subscribe to my channel. Well, subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.